Karl Pangelinan, the administrator for GEDA. Karl, you got the endorsement by the Guam Chamber of Commerce, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, but actually with the Guam Chamber of Commerce, there was a caveat. There's a provision saying we support it, but we also want a balanced budget.
That's correct. There was a condition, and we sat with the Guam Chamber of Commerce. We did our presentation that was endorsed by all the mayors. It was endorsed by the Chinese Chamber. It was endorsed by the public auditor. I think most recently by the Guam Medical Society.
Yes.
But that was a very interesting conversation that we had with the Chamber. I mean, this is the Guam Chamber. I mean, I think it's safe to say they know what they know what they're doing in terms of running a business, and they addressed that nothing is going to change without addressing the structural imbalance.
Sure.
And so, in order to do that, they endorsed the governor's bond with the condition that he put in a balanced budget, and the governor was more than happy, more than pleased to agree to that.
And actually, what that'll probably require is an amendment to our Organic Act.
That's
correct. Like the 50 states, again, the ones that are pushing for a balanced budget, they have to go amend their constitution again to allow for the balanced budget to be passed by the legislature and signed by their governor.
And with the governor's our road to fiscal discipline, I mean, that would be right in line with our objectives in terms of getting our finances in
Before
order.
we take a call, there's a lawsuit out there as well. There's a lawsuit, another lawsuit, okay, that might well, actually not might, that will compel the governor to pay off what the government owes, because this is not a bonus.
No.
This is money. This is money that has been collected, that has been kept by the government of Guam for overpaid taxes.
That's correct.
That belongs to you and I and the people of Guam. So there's no court of any jurisdiction with their right mind that will rule against something that is yours, that is proven to be yours.
Yeah.
So the governor will be compelled to pay close to $300 million. Now, we saw what happened to the GBB and the Lujan, where we were paying $1 million a week. Well, something like that can happen. That can happen.
Can certainly happen, and it just would add to that already bloated cost in terms of the total number of tax refunds. I mean, you're talking about attorneys' fees. And one thing I want to caveat: I think Gov Guam is 0 for 3 in terms of class action lawsuits.
Well, absolutely. I mean, what got to me was when Senator Ben Pangelinan says you don't have confidence in your
get some good lawyers.
Get some good lawyers. Well, wait a minute. This is something that's a no-brainer. We know we're going to lose this case, regardless of who the attorney is, because it's money that's owed. It's not a bonus the government gives out. It's something that you overpaid, I overpaid, and something that needs to come back to us. Let's go to Jackie from Dededo. Jackie, welcome. Good evening. Hello, Jackie.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Good evening, sir. I just would like to ask one question.
Sure.
I would like to find out if we are going to get it this year.
Well, that's a good question, because it's not for me to decide. It's not for Karl to decide. Karl's done the homework and how much we're going to pay and all this, but it's the decision now of the legislature.
And you're very right. And to answer your question, Jackie, I mean, for us to get it this year, again, A needs to happen before B, and A being that authorization. So we need that authorization, and we've been fighting for that authorization. And once we do get that authorization, I mean, that's when the real work starts at GEDA, and we can actually go out and market this bond, get the ratings, and with a very aggressive schedule, if I have an authorization, let's say in a week, we can probably get that money.
Now, let me say, because the governor wants to give pay the tax refunds to the people of Guam in time for Christmas. Now, what is our timeline here for passage of the governor's bond measure to be able to go to market?
I wish I had that answer, Jess. I really wish I had that answer. What I do know is that, again, if I'm given the authorization sooner than later, we can get the ball rolling, and we can take advantage of those low interest rates. We can, just do away with that whole threat of a lawsuit and actually get the bond closed, sold, and money into the people's hands by the end of the year.
Now, Karl, some of of course, the senators in the legislature, mostly Ben Pangelinan and Judy Wampat, Rory Respicio, and at times B.J. Cruz, were questioning the fact that you might have factored in the military buildup, which has since we've seen that probably is going to be protracted for over the years now, okay? The Tom Coburn's, I guess, back to black situation, as of late, Speaker Wampat says the Irene situation. You obviously did not factor in its entirety the military buildup. You talked about organic growth and retiring of other debt to be able to pay this debt.
That's correct,
Yeah.
and not once did I mention any sort of military buildup benefits helping to pay back this debt service. And so, I mean, if it does come, and when it does come, you know, I mean, that will certainly help the cause, and we can structure it so that if there are additional revenues, I mean, we can go ahead and pay this thing down earlier and save the government money in the long run. But our structure right now doesn't take into account one penny of military buildup money.
We're going to take a quick break, come back more with Karl Pangelinan, Administrator for GEDA. We'll be right back.